It's not just our factory laying off workers and reducing wages. Many factories are now facing layoffs and wage cuts. Many factories in Shenzhen, Guangzhou, Huizhou, Dongguan, Zhongshan, and Foshan are already laying off workers and cutting wages. After 3 years of pandemic, many bosses are struggling to survive. I originally thought that this year would be better, but this year is even worse. It is already very good that 10% of the factories can survive normally. What will happen to these people who get laid off? Without workers, there'd be no work, and without work, there'd be another round of salary reductions. I'm not here to be alarmist. This is the reality.
作为80后，我们失业了吗？我是87年的。
Millennials, are you unemployed? I was born in 1987 and had just been laid off by a large factory. Among our generation, the youngest born in 1989 is already 35 years old. In the next few years, we will definitely be unemployed. An army officer just chatted with a college classmate. He is a senior executive in the education department of a large factory and is 1 year older than me. He said that they only laid off him and a few pregnant women. He may also be unemployed within a year. When people reach middle age, many things are uncontrollable, such as age, weight, and parents' health. Now, even work is uncontrollable. We are no longer young, but I don't want to admit that I'm getting older. I have to rely on myself for everything. Now, year by year, I feel that time flies very fast. Although the reality is difficult, I still want to try again. At the end of this year, there is a new beginning.
被裁了，兄弟们，我被裁员了。
I was laid off, guys. I was laid off. I was still working when they told me. I was a little confused. There was no negotiation with the company. They just sent me a notification email to terminate the contract. All my permissions were revoked that day. At the end of the year, yes, it's quite uncomfortable. I have parents and kids to support, and I have a mortgage. I don't know what to tell my family. I suddenly feel confused and don't know what to do. What are other unemployed people doing right now?
China's economy continues to decline, and foreign-funded companies have laid off employees. The headquarters of Japanese beverage manufacturer Yakult recently announced that it has carried out large-scale layoffs at its subsidiary in Shanghai. The number of layoffs will reach approximately 800 people. It is reported that this is Yakult's first large-scale layoff in China. China Yakult laid off some employees last year at its Tianjin factory and implemented a series of production adjustments. The Yakult headquarters stated that as of the end of 2023, the number of employees of China Yakult was reduced from approximately 4,200 at the end of 2022 to approximately 3,400. The reason for the layoffs is unknown. However, Yakult Corporation stated at its financial report conference in November 2023 that it had lowered its profit forecast for fiscal year 2024 due to the sluggish business in the Chinese market, among other reasons. Including another local branch located in Guangzhou, China Yakult's overall daily sales volume from January to September 2023 was approximately 5.28 million bottles, a decrease of approximately 20% compared to the same period last year. Analysts believe that Yakult's overall daily sales volume in China has dropped sharply, and coupled with the uncertainty about China's future economy, it is not ruled out that Yakult will move more factories out of China. Yakult is a well-known yogurt drink originating from Japan and is a popular childhood favorite. In 1935, Yakult began to be produced and sold in Japan. In 2021, Yakult entered the Chinese market from Guangzhou. In the same year, Yakult China jointly established Guangzhou Yakult Dairy Company Limited. At present, Yakult China Company has 6 production bases in Guangzhou, Shanghai, Tianjin, Wuxi, and Foshan, and more than 50 subsidiaries. After Yakult entered the Chinese mainland market, it grew rapidly with its major product Live Culture drink in the iconic little red bottle. Data show that in 2002, Yakult's daily sales volume in the mainland Chinese market was 59,000 bottles, which increased to 5.8 million bottles in 2016. In 2020, its daily sales reached 7.6 million bottles, an increase of 128 times compared with 2002. If calculated at 2.36 yuan a bottle, Yakult's annual sales revenue is approximately 6.6 billion yuan. The financial report released by Japan Company Limited shows that in 2018 and 19, its operating income growth rates were 6.1% and 1.35% respectively. In the Chinese market, Yakult's daily sales have gradually declined since 2021 from 7 million bottles to 6.3 million bottles in 2022. In the first quarter of 2023, Yakult's daily sales volume 4.9 million bottles. Japanese media analysis suggests that Yakult's significant layoffs can be attributed to several factors. These include the ongoing economic challenges in China and slow sales, as well as the discharge of treated water from Tokyo Electric Power's Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant in August last year. Additionally, the layoffs are believed to be connected to the restrictive policies imposed by the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, on Japanese products. According to Japanese media reports, since the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant began to discharge treated water, the CCP government characterized the treated water as nuclear-contaminated water, and then implemented strict import restrictions on Japanese products, even completely banning the import of Japanese aquatic products. Even though Yakult products produced in China and not Japan have nothing to do with the discharged water, the company is still affected. Japanese business executives in Beijing pointed out that the CCP government's measures also affects other industries, such as cosmetics. Some experts pointed out that China's economic recession is quite serious. Slums are spreading everywhere, and the number of store closures in shopping malls and commercial streets has increased significantly. As China declines, the CCP takes great care of its reputation and will take every opportunity to divert public attention and blame others for its credit crisis. Therefore, cracking down on Japanese companies with nuclear discharge as an excuse is another way to shift accountability. While the CCP is cracking down on Japanese companies, foreign capital has been withdrawing from China, so China's net profit capital inflows have also been shrinking. The latest official data shows that foreign direct investment in China fell to the lowest level since 1993. According to data released by China's State Administration of Foreign Exchange on February 18th this year, foreign direct investment liability, reflecting the inflow of foreign capital, will only be $33 billion in 2023, a plunge of 82% from 2022. According to state data released on November 3, 2023, the net inflow of foreign investment in the first three quarters of 2023 totaled only $15.5 billion, a year-on-year plunge of more than 90%. Moreover, the net inflow in the third quarter was negative $11.8 billion, which was the first negative value since the statistics were established in 1998. Although there was a slight rebound in the fourth quarter, direct investment liabilities had a net inflow of $17.5 billion in the fourth quarter. This value is still one-third lower than the same period in 2022. The Wall Street Journal reported on November 6, 2023, that according to a data analysis, as of the end of September last year, foreign capital had remitted profits in China for 6 consecutive quarters, with a total amount of up to $160 billion. Due to the continued tension between the United States and China and continued crackdowns on foreign companies, foreign-funded companies have further reduced their investment in China. A survey conducted by the American Chamber of Commerce in China in the fall of 2022 showed that 66% of member companies listed tension in Sino-US relations as a business risk. A survey conducted by the Japan Chamber of Commerce in China in September last year showed that nearly 50% of members said that they would not invest in 2023 or invest less than in 2022. In addition, on January 19th this year, the Chinese Ministry of Commerce released data stating that 53,766 new foreign invested enterprises were established nationwide in 2023, and the actual amount of foreign capital used was approximately $158.8 billion, an annual decrease of 8%. According to data from the Institute of International Finance, in the first 11 months of 2023, foreign capital withdrew as much as $78.1 billion from China's stock and bond markets alone. Bloomberg calculated based on data from the Central Bank of China that from December 2021 to the end of June 2023, the total number of Chinese stocks and bonds held by foreign financial institutions decreased by approximately $188 billion. Analysts believe that the withdrawal of foreign capital from China will accelerate. The more foreign capital and companies withdraw, the greater the impact will be on China's economy and financial markets, triggering a cycle of economic contraction. Foreign investors have been selling off Chinese onshore stocks. Data show that global funds sold a net 14.5 billion yuan, about $2 billion worth of stocks through Hong Kong Stock Connect in January. This sets a record for 6 consecutive months of net sell-offs, totaling approximately $28.2 billion sold since August last year. In addition, the latest survey by Bank of America Corp showed that shorting Chinese stocks is becoming increasingly popular. On Wall Street and elsewhere, investor interest in China is fading due to its housing crisis, deflation, slowing economic growth, and rising youth unemployment. The MSCI China Index is down by nearly 7% and is nearly 60% below its 2021 peak. The MSCI China Index is compiled by Morgan Stanley Capital Corporation, MSCI, and tracks the performance of Chinese concept stocks. A few days ago, MSCI decided to remove dozens of Chinese companies from multiple indexes. Regarding Wall Street short selling of Chinese stocks, general economist Wu Jialong remarked, "Would it be too late to do it now? It could have been done long ago." Wu Jialong believes that China's stock market has indeed entered a downward trend, and the main factor is not a problem of funding or taxes, but a problem of confidence. When investors have no confidence, the economy can easily fall out of control. He said, "Because there's no way out now, it's a bottomless pit. If you don't sell, others will sell, and you will be forced to sell. That is, everyone will fall into a market where you sell and I sell." Wu Jialong said, even if no one shorts, it's still unsalvageable. The CCP's bailout measures are useless. He asserts that based on the current trajectory, the Chinese stock market will continue to fall. To reverse the trend, he believes that the problems of the real economy must be solved. He pointed out that structural problems such as real estate, local finance, and unemployment must be fundamentally resolved. He said that if investors see the recovery of China's economic sector and the real economy, the stock market will no longer continue to hit new lows, and then everyone will have the confidence to gradually return and invest. Wu said even if Xi Jinping steps down, recovery is unlikely because these problems are deeply entrenched. In short, China's economic problems are no longer that of its leaders, but a problem of the entire system. Wu Jialong believes that this authoritarian system is unable to support long-term economic development, and now many problems have emerged. There is now overinvestment, over-leverage, and overcapacity. There are so many houses built and simply no demand for all of them. As a result, there was excessive competition, and finally, it imploded on itself. China's economy is indeed in bad shape now. In light of China's economic downturn, foreign companies are withdrawing, and widespread unemployment in many workplaces. Mr. Liu, a Shanghai resident, notes that approximately half of the stores in Shanghai have closed, and many foreign-funded enterprises have left, resulting in widespread unemployment. Amidst this wave of job losses, middle-aged individuals are particularly affected. A private entrepreneur in Shanghai remarks, "For the vast majority of middle-aged individuals, aside from those in enterprise management, most are either unemployed or underemployed. Many businesses have closed down, leading to a significant increase in unemployment among the working class. Furthermore, after the Chinese New Year, many people are compelled to continue job hunting. However, for some migrant workers, finding employment has become increasingly challenging, and even when they do, wage arrears are a persistent issue." A migrant worker who goes by the alias Ye Zinong stated on February 11th that he did not leave his hometown to seek work in Guangzhou as he did before, because he's not sure if any work would be available. For the 29-year-old, traveling from his village to Guangzhou via a 3-hour high-speed train is not an issue. He had previously been to Shanghai, Beijing, and other places. However, when it comes to Guangzhou now, his first thought is the high cost of living. He explains, "Spending money every day in Guangzhou is unbearable. I don't dare to move around much now because every move costs money." Ye Zinong had been working as a casual laborer in the construction industry for several years. With his crane operator license, he could earn 9,000 yuan per month if he found a suitable position. However, opportunities for work in Shanghai and Guangzhou were scarce all last year. At the end of December last year, Ye found suitable work at a dock construction site in Guangzhou. However, after working for half a month, he witnessed a group of workers on the site who had not been paid for several months and were demanding their wages. Even after working for the entire month, Ye had still not received his salary. He said they were working on a national infrastructure project owned by a state-owned enterprise. Because the owner delayed payment, neither the rental car company nor the labor dispatch company could receive payment. In an attempt to receive their due, the workers organized a strike, but it only lasted half a day. Finally, just 2 days before the Chinese New Year, on February 8th, he received his wages. He considers this outcome relatively fortunate compared to previous experiences. In one instance, workers went on strike for 2 days before barely receiving their wages. Another individual using the pseudonym Must Earn More Money, who worked in construction in Wuhan for 2 months, received his salary before the site closed for the holiday on January 31st. However, he found the pay inadequate to cover basic needs. He explained that he lives in Fujian with his wife, daughter, and 2 elderly relatives. Over the past 2 years, he had seen industrial zones and shops closing down around him, the real estate sector struggling, and the population decreasing. He is pessimistic about the future and is focused on earning more money, hoping for an opportunity to leave China and live in Europe or the United States, preferably with his family. He also said, "This country is rotten to the core. Even my child is learning Xi Jinping thought in kindergarten. Do American children have to learn Biden thought?" The white-collar sector has also been experiencing salary reductions.
收到通知，降薪30%。
I received a notice of a 30% salary cut with no year-end bonus. I'm 38 years old with a bachelor's degree, an engineer certificate, and a construction engineer certificate. I've been working steadily for over 10 years. Now the company has no projects to work on. In other words, I have nothing to do now. The boss said we should weather the storm together. I definitely won't choose to resign. The entire industry is like this now. If I go to find another job, it won't be any better. Mr. Chu, who works for a biotechnology company in Wuhan, said,
"The zero COVID-19 measures have rendered many commercial activities impossible. The company's business was stagnant throughout 2023. Not only did salaries not increase, but they decreased for everyone. This was truly unexpected. The grim situation is probably related to issues in industries such as real estate, finance, and consumption. But it's hard to draw a definite conclusion about these macro and micro factors. For the company, all we could do is persevere."
Similarly, salary reductions for the middle class underscore the broad repercussions of China's economic decline across different societal levels. These problems stem not only from economic factors, but also from the structure of the CCP system.